All right. We're going to be doing a run through of 51st State from Portal Games. As we're playing through, you'll be able to learn actually how to play the game because we're going to be explaining a lot of the things as we go. This is an engine building style game. We're going to be playing cards into our tableau here. Try to get victory points. First person to 25 points is going to signify the end of the game. And after that, we will count up victory points, basically all of the cards we have in our state. And then we will see who wins. Try to refresh Twitch over here and just make sure that it is working in audio and everything's working fine. Yep, it is. And I didn't even have to run into an ad that time.
I know. That's unusual.
All right, so we've already gone through the setup. And we're going to switch over screens here to our other shot. And we kind of put the video of us in the middle to try to make it a little bit easier to see so you can see both of our tableaus as we're kind of building out. I wasn't really too sure where to put it. So you're probably not going to be able to see all the resources that we have here, and you're probably not going to be able to see much of the deck. But we're going to try to put the cards over here as good as we can so you can see which cards we're trying to pick, although I don't know if you'll be able to read them. We will try to read them as we go through. We randomly picked factions. I am Hegemony, which is actually one of the factions that I actually purchased from Portal Games website. And Kim is...
Appalachian Federation.
So...
And this is one that came with it, wasn't it?
I believe that is one that came with it, because I believe the two that didn't come with it were Hegemony, and I think Texas was the other one, if I remember correctly. Playing different factions does give you a little bit different feel for the game. Each faction has different resources that they're going to be producing during the production phase. They also have different actions that they're allowed to take in converting resources to other types of goods, you could say, or currency. So we're going to go ahead and start out with dealing out the cards right now. We're going to deal out 6 cards to each of us. We're going to then discard 2 cards into our discard pile, and we are actually playing with the expansion for the game, which is Scavengers. So each of us actually gets our own discard pile, which is one of the new things that Scavengers actually introduces into the game. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and look at our cards. So give us a second to kind of read and see what we have here. Organize my cards into somewhat a little bit of an order. See if anybody's actually in chat and wanting to talk. And then as we're kind of going through the first round of play, I'll kind of explain things, how the different currency works, what some of the different resources are, how they will work, and how you play games into your state, as well as several of the different things you can actually do with your card. So you discarded 2? Mm-hmm. All right, I need to do that as well. I was too busy talking.
That's okay.
And what do I get? I get a universal token and a gray. That's actually pretty nice to start off with. That could actually be interesting. Wow, I kind of like all these. Okay, I definitely want to keep that. All right, we're going to get rid of Oil Rig, and I think we're going to get rid of... Wow, I actually like all of these cards for once.
That's tough.
This is a really hard one, actually. All right, I think we're going to get rid of this one because I don't know if I'm going to be doing a lot with those right now. All right, so since we dealt out the cards, the first part of the game is called the lookout phase. What you're going to do is you're going to deal out cards equal to the number of players plus 1. So we're going to go ahead and flop 3 cards out right now. The first player will actually get to choose. Since I'm first player, I'm actually going to get to choose one. So this is kind of like a drafting part of the game. And we have a leisure spot, a corner shop, and shipwreck. Leisure spot feature: each time you develop a rune, I can gain a victory point. The corner shop lets you actually put workers and resources on there. Or spend worker in a resource to gain a victory point, and that may be activated twice. Shipwreck is spend a worker and an iron to gain 2 victory points. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take, I think we're going to take the leisure spot. And I will let you decide which of those two you want. So while Kim's deciding, you're actually going to be doing 2 drafts during the lookout phase. You do one draft where the first player will actually get to take the card first, and then the second player will go. And then, since we are playing with Scavengers, whatever cards are left, they go into the discard pile of the first player, the active player that has the first player token. We're going to do the second draft now, so 3 more cards come out. And actually, Kim now gets to take first for these, so she actually gets to take the first card here. I will take the second and then discard the card into my pile again. And with Scavengers, it's kind of interesting. They have a new mechanic. We call it the nuclear symbol. I don't know if they actually have a name for it on the sheet here of what it's actually called. We just call it, like I said, the nuclear symbol. And it lets you kind of do an action utilizing the top card of your opponent's discard pile. So the discard piles in this game, and I guess I should try to get my discard pile actually kind of into the shot, since that kind of does come into play in this one. Although that's not, yeah, we'll have enough room for my tableau. So we got the nuclear preacher production, 1 for each rune in your state, 1 to gain a star. I'm going to take this one. We're going to discard this one. And at the end of the lookout phase, the first thing you do is you flip over your connection cards. And these should flip right over. Scavengers also introduces a new connection card. They call it yellow. To me, that's pretty damn orange. But hey, maybe I'm colorblind. So connection cards are interesting. You're going to be able to purchase those by spending 2 of your workers and take one of these cards. You'll put it in your hand. Later on in the turn, you can do an action where you turn these cards in, gain the resources on there. The red cards normally will get you the red connection tokens. The yellow or orange cards will normally possibly get you another card or allow you to interact with your opponent's discard pile, as that's what those do. Blue cards will normally get you blue contact tokens. So the contact tokens are actually what's going to be used for currency in the game. So now that we have that ready, we are ready for the production phase, and this is pretty much going to be very easy. We're going to look at not only our faction card, our tableau, and any deals we have here. Since it's the first round, we really don't have anything. And Kim's holding hers up. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but you can get some workers here, where I think each player gets normally 3 workers on their card. And then the rest of the resources are going to be pretty much random. I get a gray contact as well as a universal, which is going to be kind of like equal to all 3 colors. We also get a card, so since I'm first player, I will draw the card first.
I get 3 workers, an orange brick, 1 gray contact token, and a card.
So after that, we will jump over to our action phase, which is going to be the bulk of the game. And this is where we're going to be spending our resources to try to play cards into our tableau to kind of get an engine going. So what's the first thing that I actually want to do? All right, we're going to spend a gray contact token, and I'm going to produce the demolition site. During the production phase, and when I actually play the card, I actually will get the resources. It produces a rune. So I get to draw the top card and just set this into my tableau. Face down, it's considered a rune. It's a location that doesn't count for endgame scoring. It also isn't anything I can kind of use right now until I either do a build action to develop it into another territory or location, or if I get one of the special cards that comes in Scavengers that actually lets me do a real rebuild action, which allows me to flip that over. So it's basically right now we're going to be going back and forth, spending our resources one at a time until one of us passes. Once one of you passes, you can, no longer be attacked. You're kind of safe from everybody else at the table, and that kind of just ends your turn for the round. And there really aren't any set rounds. Like I said at the beginning, we're going to be playing until one person hits 25. Even if you hit 25 during the production phase, there are deal cards you could be placing here that could possibly produce victory points. And If you do reach 25 points during the production phase, you still go on to the action phase, complete the whole action phase, and then do your end game scoring. So Kim, go ahead and do your action.
Okay, I'm going to lay this card down, which is construction vehicles. It is a production card, which your tile here has 3 different areas: your production, your feature, and your action. Your cards will tell you which row they go under. So this one is going to allow me a gray contact token every open production, and also it's going to give me a building bonus now, so I get 2 at this point.
Yeah. So the building bonus you only get once when you play the card.
And it costs me 1.
Yeah.
The distance is a gray token or a universal token.
Right.
Which is like a wild, so.
So there's 3 different costs on the cards, I guess you can say. The distance is pretty much what's going to judge most of the cost for it. Whenever you want to play a card into your tableau, you're going to pretty much color coordinate your currency. So like when I played mine and when Kim played hers, we're playing it into our tableau here. The distance is going to tell us the cost. To play something, it's just a gray contact token. If you want to actually do a deal, you'll see that deal over here is kind of blue. You would have to do a blue contact token, and then what you would do is you would just kind of slide this under here, and then you would get that resource during the production phase. There's also red on the cards over here where it says spoils. If you want to do what's called raising a card from your hand, you could spend the red contact tokens to do that. You would then get the resources that are under the spoil. So, and for all of those, whichever one you want to do, be it spoils, deal, or playing a card into your tableau to create it as a location, the distance is what the currency is. It's just what color currency you actually need to utilize to actually be able to play it into your tableau. So it's coming back to me, and I am going to go ahead and play a... What do I want to do? All right, I'm going to spend 2 of my workers, and one of the actions you can do on the bottom of your board is spend 2 workers to either draw a card, or what you could do is you can actually spend these 2, and you don't really need to keep them down there because there's a box down here that actually tells you can do this. You can do these actions as many times as you want. There's another box above that that says actions. Those actions can only be done 1 at a time. So if I wanted to spend an iron, I could get a gray contact token. If I wanted to spend a gun, I could get 2 red contact tokens. Or if I wanted to spend a gas can, I could get a blue contact token. The other one, you can do as many times as you want. I'm going to spend this for a resource, and I'm going to go ahead and take a gas can.
Okay. I am going to spend 2 of my workers and go ahead and take this merchant's car here. Goes into my hand. I cannot collect the 2 blue tokens yet.
Yeah, she has to actually spend an action to be able to do that. All right, now on my turn, I'm actually going to do one of these actions down here, so I'm actually going to leave the resource down there, so I know I can't actually do the blue fuel tank again, but that's going to allow me to take 1 blue contact token.
Okay, at this point, I am going to use this merchant's card, which just lets me instantly gain 2 blue contact tokens. Just put that there for discard.
Yep, that's just the discard pile for those. These cards do not get flipped over. A new one doesn't get flipped over. Pretty much only 1 per round when you're going through these. At the end of the hi kitty cat.
Hi, we have a cat.
And I guess she wanted to be on the table tonight or on the stream tonight. When you're playing with when you're using the connection cards, only 1 color per round, and they actually will go away during the cleanup phase, which is the final phase of the round. And during the end of the lookout phase is when new ones actually do flip over. And how did she jump? Oh, she
jumped from there.
She jumped off of this chair, which I think we're going to move so she does not do that again.
She's just laying down. She's old and runs the house, so she's going to come into the scene every now and then.
She's allowed. The next thing I'm going to do is... I'm going to try this because I don't think I've actually ever used this one. I'm going to use my universal as a gray contact one, and I'm going to play the Garbage Digger. The Garbage Digger is an open production card. So open production cards Some cards will say production, some will say open production. Open production are cards that your opponent can actually utilize by putting a worker on there. They can get the production action as well. They can only do that once, and you cannot use your own open production. So I can't put a worker there. If Kim does utilize this as an open production, she puts a worker here, and then I get a worker out of the resource pool to basically add to my pool of resources I have to use at that time. But open production, and this will happen right now whenever you produce it, I can choose an icon on the top of your card and actually gain the matching good. So I actually think what I'm going to do is I can take a gun or an ammo. I'm going to go ahead and take an ammo. An ammo is an interesting resource because it can actually be utilized as any of the 4 resources, being guns, iron, bricks, or fuel. So go ahead, you're up.
Okay. I'm actually going to do one of my actions down here on the board, which allows me to spend 1 brick, discard 1 card, and then I get to gain 2 of the gray contact tokens. And these, again, are what I use to actually put down the locations. You spend those.
Someone in chat's action if we play many games. We play a lot of different games. Some of the games we've streamed already so far. Orleans was one we did a couple weeks ago. I did a solo role player last week because Kim was sick. One of the first games we streamed was...
I'm drawing a blank.
I did too. I can't remember what the first one we did actually.
That's
it was just
so
a couple
funny.
weeks ago.
New Orleans and Godfather.
Yes, yeah,
Godfather.
we actually played a couple
How
of
could
the
you forget that?
Godfathers.
I killed you.
We're actually going to be doing some extended streams next week during Gen Con because we're going to be participating in Gen Can't. So we're going to be playing quite a few different games. Deck builders, worker placements, and just a bunch of other games we have in our collection, and we're just working through games in our collection. I actually believe IDW is sending us a couple of games to actually preview and run through for those, so we'll learn those really quick and play a couple of those games. So we play pretty much everything. As we add games to our collection, we will play them. Some games we play may be older, some games we play may be newer, depending on the games we're purchasing. So you're done. I'm going to go ahead and actually spend my blue resource, my blue contact token, and actually play a deal. It's the nuclear preacher. I'm going to actually put him under here. That's actually going to get me another ammo. And that will produce an ammo every production phase now.
Okay, I'm going to spend 1 gray token, contact token, and put this card, play this card as a location.
Oh, you at the school? Mm-hmm. Oh, you suck.
This allows me a worker during production, and as a building bonus, I get an additional worker right now, so I get 2.
So she's going to have 2 workers right now, which is the school. If you can get this school very early on, and then there's another one I think we really like, heavy machinery.
Yeah.
I think where you can spend, is it a worker and an iron?
Iron.
I think it's a worker and an iron. You get 3
3
gray contact tokens, which
That's
the gray
my favorite
contacts just start letting you throw things out into your tableau, and once you can get that engine going, it just really starts.
It is absolutely necessary that you have gray contact tokens.
Yes.
The game is virtually impossible if you do not get one of those cards that gives you extra.
The last game, I did not have a lot of gray contact tokens, and it was very, very hard for me to be producing stuff. I'm going to use one of my ammo. I'm going to flip it into iron, and that doesn't actually take an action. That actually counts as anything. I'm going to put that down here as an iron and actually get a gray contact token. And that's all I'm going to be doing this turn.
I'm going to do a deal, and a deal is actually not the verse that's written here. It's the top blue line up on top, and this allows me, if I spend 1 blue for the distance, you use it as a deal, and it's going to give me a brick during every open production, or every production.
All right. For my next...
When I get 1 now.
Yes, you do.
Forgot about that.
For my next one, That actually might not be bad to do. Let's do this. Let's spend a gray contact token. I'm going to place an action down here, convoy. I can spend fuel to gain 1 blue contact token, and that could be activated twice. And the interesting thing about the cards is when it says it can be activated twice, you can activate that. You can do 1 action and activate it once, and then next turn you can come back, do that action again, activate it twice the second time, or you can just do both activations at once. So you do have a choice there as to how you activate those when it says it can be activated multiple times. There's a lot of timing in this game, so you really need to watch what a lot of your opponents are doing. It's a little different when you're just playing 2 players. The timing isn't as necessary or as as effective or something, but you still do need to pay attention to that timing a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, I'm going to do another deal, and this deal allows me to get 1 ammo during each production.
Cruise with those deals.
And it costs 1 blue contact token. And these just go right up here underneath your board. And then I will take an ammo now.
Yep. All right. I'm going to use my ammo as a fuel. I'm going to spend 1 fuel, so I'm going to put it here so I know that I've actually done that action once. So if I had 2, I could do that again, and that's going to give me 1 blue contact token. So as you can see, most of the time you're pretty much, turning 1 resource into another is what you're trying to do, and that actually is an action. You can't necessarily spend it immediately.
Okay.
So go ahead, you're up.
Yep, I'm going to
You
actually
have a lot of stuff left over there, good lord.
use this ammo for a gas can. And I get to spend 1 gas can to collect 2 blue tokens.
All right.
That's under my actions.
Yep. And I am going to use my blue contact token to make a deal. I'm going to play the assassin under here. And the assassin card is coming out of the sleeve. Sometimes getting these cards under the deals is kind of tricky. The actual tablecloth we have here, which is vinyl, is way easier than the felt one that we had before.
Yeah, this is the first time we've played this on the vinyl, and it's
so that's actually going to get
really
me
nice.
Get me a gun.
My turn?
It is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to do another deal.
Wow.
I'm going to get another brick. I have something up my sleeve that I'm trying to get all these bricks during production.
Normally,
is that 2? Yes.
I think I taught you something last game that you're going to try to use this game.
2 blue contacts. And I get 1.
Yes. And I'm to the point in my turn right now where I have a worker and a gun left. I could turn the gun in for 2 red contact tokens, but I really don't want to turn either of these cards and utilize them for spoils. I really don't have anything else I can do with 2 red contact tokens because I don't have the extra worker to take that, or I would, and I would probably attack her immediately, which kind of bums me out. So there is a little bit of take that in this game, so you kind of just got to be ready for that. And it depends. We've played games where we've attacked each other a lot, and then we've played games like one we played earlier today where we really didn't even, I don't even think we attacked each other.
Sometimes you're so focused on just building your engine
that you're not even worried about trying to slow your opponent down some, and I probably should have.
It takes your resources to do that, so you have to make that choice, which is better for your game.
And after the action phase, the only phase that's left is cleanup, and during cleanup, all of your resources actually go away, but you do keep the cards in your hand, so you don't get rid of those. And
there is a card that allows you to keep 2 or 3 resources, depending on the card you get, so you don't have to discard them at the end. If you do get that card, you can put as many resources as it says, which is nice.
Yes,
we didn't see that card one time last time.
I think I had one, but I don't think I really ever utilized it because I was literally using all of my resources each time.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and pass. So she's not going to be able to attack me, but she is going to be able to just kind of sit here and just churn through the rest of her resources and just do a bunch of stuff, so go to town.
All right, I'm going to play the last card in my hand. It's an action, which allows me to spend 2 bricks to gain 2 victory points each turn, or each action. You may do this twice during your turn. So that costs 3 gray contact tokens. And then since Joe has passed, it's back to me.
Yep, she can just
And I'm
keep on
actually
going.
going to play this card now. So it costs 2 bricks to gain 2 victory points. So I am yellow this turn, right?
Yep. Yeah, because you were
that.
purple last game.
And then I would just put the bricks on there, so I remember.
Yeah, that's a nice little combo you got going there, especially with the 2 bricks you're producing on
Yeah.
your deals.
Yeah.
And I can't destroy the deals either. I can only possibly try to maybe go after that action. But the thing is, your production, they show you, there's red shields over here that you probably can't see. It's 3, 4, and 5. So if I want to destroy a production card and a production location at her state, it's going to cost me 3 red contacts. A feature would cost 4. Actions actually cost 5 to destroy. And there are these little police tokens that you can sometimes get, if you can see them here, that will actually give it kind of like a +1 that would be needed. But then those do go away at the end of the cleanup phase as well. So there really isn't too much that really stays around during the cleanup phase. You pretty much wipe your whole board and rinse and repeat the round. Do you have any other actions you want to do?
I'm going to use 2 of my workers and
Draw a card?
draw a card.
Yep. Then I have a feeling that's probably about all you're going to be able to do.
That is all I can do.
All right. All right, so we go into the cleanup phase. Pretty much get rid of all the resources. Everything goes back into their appropriate pools. And we're on to round 2. The game will probably speed up a little bit more since I've kind of gone through just a majority of most of the rules right now. I don't know if there's much else we can explain. There's a few other things that you'll probably catch on as we develop some cards. As we do those actions, I will explain those. But other than that, during cleanup, any cards that were connection cards over here actually get discarded. Those will flip over at the end of the lookout phase, which is where we're at right now. First player is going to pass over to Kim. We're going to move these cards down just a hair to flip over 3 cards, and she will basically get to start doing a draft of those 3 cards. And we actually played quite a few cards that turn for being the first turn. We don't normally go through our hands like that.
No, that was a lot. Okay. There you go.
You must have got a good card, because that seemed like that was an easy decision. So that's going to go on your discard pile. And then I'm going to draw 3, and I will get to draft first this time. I don't know if I should have taken one of those cards or not, but we'll see how it goes. Yep, that was pretty much the card I thought you were going to take, because it was brick related.
Yes.
All right, other than that, end of the lookout phase, so we will flip these over. You got a junk train, 2 meeples, or 2 workers, will get you this card, which will let you turn it in for 3 blue contacts. This building, the yellow card, orange, I'm going to say orange, it is not yellow. You can draw 3 cards, keep 1 and discard the rest, so that's actually sometimes nice to have. And punks, for 2 workers you can buy this, and then you can turn it in to gain 2 red contact tokens. Hi, Sasha. Why don't you go ahead and get down? Or walk over here.
She's not bothering anything. Oh,
Nope,
there
she's
she
gonna
goes.
Go down. All right. Other than that, we are on to the production phase.
All right.
So
So,
let's
we
go ahead and-
simultaneously go ahead
Yeah,
and
we
start
just
taking.
go ahead and just start grabbing resources, because this is part of the game where you really don't need to. I know I can trust her. The only thing that we let each other do is whoever has the first action or the first player card, we let them draw the cards first, because we feel that that's how that actually should be going. I produce a rune, so I'll wait for you to do that.
Right here.
Open production, I can choose an icon on a card and gain the matching good.
1, 2, 3. Yep. I get a card.
What is that? Oh, nice. I don't know if I ever realized what that yellow icon was until I just looked that up. That
The
is
up arrow?
Yes. That is a universal resource token. So I have a card that during open production I can choose an icon on the top of your deck.
Oh, wow, that's
card
a nice card.
And gain the matching good. So I can take a gun or the universal resource. I had to look that yellow up because I was like, what the hell is the yellow? I don't remember that being in the base game. Yeah, I don't even see it listed here on the base game, so that must be something new that they actually added with a new icon that they added with Scavengers. That's not base set, is it? Or is that Scavengers? No, that is base set. Huh. I don't remember seeing that icon though before. So production, did you draw your cards?
I did.
Okay, I have not yet. And I did not take any of these. I get a gun and an ammo for that. I get one card into my hand, and I produce a rune. So I'm going to plop another card down there.
And then I go first.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm going to do, ooh, wait a minute. Let me do this right off the bat. Let me spend 2 workers and take this card right here, which is going to allow me to get 3 blue contact tokens.
All right, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, but I'm going to take the red one.
All right, I'm going to turn that card in right away and get my 3 blue contact tokens.
Do you have any open production? Do you have a great contact?
I have a great contact, yes.
Okay. I have the one where you can actually get a resource from the top one. So right now I have an iron and a victory point if you wanted to put a worker there.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take my 2 resources as well. So I'm going to get 2 red contact tokens.
Let's see. Let's come down here like I was going to do. I'm going to spend a brick and discard one of my cards to get 2 gray contacts.
Don't get rid of a card. I like that card up there.
Nope, sorry. Can't have it your way all the time, Joe. All right.
All right. I am going to do an action, turn my gun into 2 red contact tokens.
I am going to do an action as well, which is an open production. It costs 2 gray tokens.
Oh, you get cards.
And it's going to allow me a card every time during open production. Plus there's a building bonus for another card, so I get 2 right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to spend 5 red and actually destroy your action card. I can't read it. My contacts are, that's even...
Oh, and I said action card for this, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was production. Wow, that's shitty. That was a good card. So do I flip it, or?
So it gets raised. So I'm raising one of your cards. So this is basically, what this does is this gets me, I get the spoils, and you get the goods.
Deal.
You get the deal.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to get 3 bricks and 1.
3 bricks. Oh, holy cow, and a victory point.
And 1 victory point, and I get 1 brick.
Yep. And a victory point.
And that was nasty, because now I don't need bricks.
Yep, and that's what I wanted to do. I'm going to verify that I get those resources. I'm 99% sure on that one. Go ahead and take your action, though.
Oh, boy. Now what do I do?
Yep, I get the goods to put in this way, and you get the ones put in the... Yep, I just wanted to verify that. I was 95% sure on that one.
I'm going to do this deal. Wait a minute. Hold on.
So basically what I was trying to do there is I was trying to just slow her engine down because she was just going to start getting victory points after victory points with all these bricks she has going on.
I'm going to do this deal, which costs 2 blue contact tokens, and it's going to give me an iron every turn.
All right. What I am going to do is I'm going to actually do a build action, and I'm actually going to use a brick to build one of the runes that I have here. So the way this works is I'm doing basically what's called a development action. So I'm going to spend the brick. I am going to, normally whenever you're doing a development action, whatever card you're going to bring into play, it can replace another card in the tableau. Normally you have to match an icon, so this one is ammo's covering up both of the icon spots. I would have to pick an ammo card from my tableau to actually discard, and I can then put this card down, and it doesn't have to match the row, so I can actually replace, or I could put down an action card to actually replace a production card. But if you have runes or cards that have been raised in front of you, you don't have to match the icons. And anytime you actually do a development type action using the brick, or if you were actually using the development token, which looks like a little bulldozer, if you can kind of see it there in my hand, looks like a little bulldozer, that doesn't require you to actually match icons either. And you get a victory point every time you do a development action. So I'm going to go ahead and discard this. And that's kind of funny because the card that I'm actually playing is the card I just discarded. And that's Keeper of Scrap. Produces 1 ammo for each rune in my state. I have a rune there. So I am going to get an ammo. You're up.
Okay. I am going to lay down this action for 2 gray contact tokens. What this allows me to do...
I didn't take my victory point.
And you know what? And I meant to say this. I didn't take my iron when I put that deal down last time, so I'm going to take that. This one allows me to spend 1 worker and 1 iron to gain 2 victory points. And that is the end of my turn.
All right. I'm going to do the same thing again. I am going to spend a brick. I'm going to go ahead and... You know what? Let me not do that. Let me take my brick back. I want to do something else first. I'm going to spend 2 gray. I'm going to use my universal contact token as a gray. For 2 gray contact tokens, I want to put down a feature. Each time I develop a rune, I get a victory point. So it essentially would get me 2 victory points.
Okay. Well, this isn't a good round. So I guess I'm going to do this. I'm going to use a worker and my iron to give myself 2 victory points there.
All right. Now I am going to spend a brick, and I am going to discard this rune, and I am going to bring into play I'm going to bring into play the Oil Men Fortress. I can spend a worker and 2 fuel to gain 3 victory points.
I'm going to pass.
All right. I'm going to use both of my ammo as fuel. And like I mentioned before, when you're converting the ammo, that's not an action. So that the ammo is equal to any of the resources. I normally just swap them out so I kind of know what I'm actually using them for. So I'm going to put 2 fuel there. I'm going to put a worker there and actually get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to come back to me. And on that note, I am going to pass. So we're going to go ahead and go to the cleanup phase, where we are going to remove all resources from everything. Fuel's going to go back there, worker, brick, gun. And we're going to get rid of this connection card, because nobody is using that one. And we're going to pass the first player token, go to the top of the lookout phase, and I will be the one to do the draft of the first 3 cards. Yes, we need that. Ooh, that's nice. I could see which one you may use.
Okay.
So that one's going to go back at the top of my pile. Now we'll draw 3 cards, and Kim will actually be the first to do a draft of those 3. So the build action, like I was saying, can be very lucrative and beneficial when you actually start using them. It gets you a victory point every time, and I'm trying to think if I took the 2 points when I did that. I'm gonna have to watch the video and maybe do an edit on that. Ooh, underground warehouse. What did you take that you didn't take the
There was
underground
2 of
warehouse? Oh, it was that?
What he's talking about is that card actually came up that allows you to keep your resources out.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Feature, you may store up to 3 of any of the resources, a gun, gasoline, iron, or a brick, here during the cleanup phase, and then you take them back during your next production. So they're really nice.
So at the end of the lookout phase, we flip over 3 new connection cards. And we have thugs. Spend a gun to gain 3 red contact tokens. Instant, gain the top card of your opponent's discard pile, which could be very nice. She has the read out there. I don't know if I like that one. And then this one is gain 3 blue contact tokens. So quite a few contact tokens out there under the connection cards. Other than that, let me set my cards down because we are onto the production phase right now. Grab all of your stuff. 3 workers, a universal, a gray.
Now I got all these bricks and nothing to do with them because you
Gun.
destroyed my card.
I don't have any rune. Okay, you know what? And you can do these, I think, in any order. I'm going to produce a rune. Actually, I'm going to take a card to my hand, produce a rune.
Get 2 cards.
When I have a rune in my state, I get a ammo. And I can choose an icon on the top of your discard pile and gain the matching good, so I can get a gun or an ammo. I'm just going to go ahead and take another ammo, so it's kind of random or universal. Oh, yes, and I did take those.
Did you draw both your cards so I can draw?
Yes, I did. I did draw my cards. I only get to draw pretty much 1 card, but the other card was a rune. I have
That's some really nice cards.
I have some very interesting cards in my hand, and it's kind of making me do like a totally different strategy than I think I normally would. Not really sure where to go with this. Let's start off here. We're going to use a gray contact token for a production of a fuel. So it's an open production of a fuel, so I will go ahead and take a fuel tank. So if you want to put a worker there, you'd be able to actually get a fuel if you needed fuel.
Okay. I'm going to use 2 of my workers to take this. And that allows me to spend a gun to gain 3 red contact tokens.
I probably should have taken that. So I'm going to go ahead and actually spend 2 to take the junk train. And the interesting thing about the connection cards, I don't know if we mentioned it or not, you don't need to play them the round you actually take them. Mm-hmm. You can actually hold on to them and actually use them in a later round, so they don't necessarily need to be used the minute you take them or during even that round. You can hold on to it just as, you know, kind of a pocket full of resources that you could utilize at a later time if you really need them.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is an action where I get to spend 1 brick, discard 1 card, and I get 2 gray contact tokens.
All right. I'm going to do a worker, a fuel. I'm going to use this as a fuel, and that's going to get me 3 victory points.
I am going to turn my ammo in for a gun, and I'm going to play my thugs card. I spend the gun and get 3 red contact tokens.
I think we got our contact tokens a little messed up over here. We got grays bleeding into the blues, into the reds.
Oops, that's my bad.
Yeah, you're just throwing them everywhere. All right. My next turn is going to consist of spending, I'm going to use an ammo as an iron, and I'm going to turn an iron into 1 gray contact.
I am actually going to ruin one of your cards.
Of course you are.
I'm going to do the...
So who wins the most? 50-50?
Okay.
You think you win more?
I win a lot.
Well, there's your answer.
It's 50-50, I don't know.
I was going to be nice and say 50-50. You do win a lot, but I think we each have our streaks.
Yeah. And we have games that we're both better at.
Right.
So I'm going to destroy your card there that is giving you a fuel tank every time.
That was mean.
I know, right? It was mean when you got rid of mine.
All right, so you're going to get 2 fuel, and I get a fuel.
Oops, got it.
That was not nice.
I know. Comes around, goes around.
Yeah, it's... The funny thing is, game-wise, especially playing with Kim, I guess I'm kind of lucky because, 1, she likes games. 2, she's very competitive. Just recently has she said that she'll play co-op games. She's kind of normally completely against co-op games and kind of wants to win. She doesn't want to win as a group. She wants to win on her own. So there have been a couple of games that we've talked about maybe doing on the stream, and she's like, all right, I'll do it for the stream. But I don't know if there are games she would normally play on a consistent basis.
I don't think I'd ever play co-op on a consistent basis.
She just doesn't care for him. So, and it's usually, I think that's a lot of different, I hate to say, for a lot of girls. I think, I don't know if there's someone as competitive as you.
The take that.
Yeah. My turn, right? Mm-hmm. How can I...
But I like to be on the giving end of the take that.
What do you all have over there? You're getting gray, you're getting workers. Because I'm going to turn a gun in... Oh, let me actually put that gun down here because that's an action. I'm going to put that gun in for 2 red contact tokens. Oof. This game may have a little more take that than our last one there, honey.
Yeah, for sure. What was I going to do next? Well, I better do this. Because he's going to take something of mine, no doubt about it. I'm going to play this feature. It's actually my first one in the center feature column here. And that is the card we were talking about that allows us to store up to 3 resources there. So that cost 1 gray contact token.
All right, I'm going to attack and raise your construction vehicle.
Wow, okay.
So I'm going to spend the 2 red and the universal, which is going to be 3.
And I get the deal?
You get the deal,
Iron.
which is an iron, and what do I get? What was under the spoils?
2.
2 gray contact?
No. Oh, yeah, it is 2 gray.
2 gray contact. I was going to say, that looked like gray contact to me, and I'm sitting across the table.
Darn. And I flip it over, right? Yep.
Uman says he's not one for co-ops either. I don't mind co-ops. I actually ran the Pathfinder Adventure card game down at my local game store for about 3 years. So that's a co-op. Other than that, I really don't play too many co-ops. That's probably the most co-op I get. But I wouldn't mind maybe playing through like Pandemic Legacy or something like that. But I don't know if I really want to play co-ops constantly. I guess I'm just not against them as much as she is. All right, you're up.
I am up. I am going to spend a worker and a gear to get 2 victory points.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and play a gray contact token, and I'm actually going to play an underground warehouse like you did. And that's going to allow me to play put 3 resources on there if I have anything left. Okay. And the resources, that's something you kind of need to pay attention to with the game. The resources in the game are going to be, they list them on there, the gun, the fuel, the iron, or the brick. You can't put the connection tokens on there. You can't put ammo on there. There is one card that actually lets you put a worker on there as well as some resources. But neither of us have that one yet.
All right. So this is a card I'm going to play. We haven't seen anything like this yet. This is called Camp, and it's a feature card. What it does is when you build it, you are allowed to play 3 workers on this location. They don't go away. That's basically all that card is good for. When those 3 workers are done, that's it. The card just stays there still, but it does give you opportunity to get 3 additional workers. So I'm
Which
going.
can come in handy.
Yep.
Don't forget the workers on there.
Oh, duh. After I just got done talking about it.
All right, I'm going to use my 2 gray contact tokens. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to use my 2 gray contact tokens for playing Scouring the Runes. It's an action. I can choose 1 icon on the top of your deck card. I can spend the matching good and gain a victory point. So right now she has a brick or an ammo there. If I put a brick or an ammo on here, I can essentially get a victory point. So that's going to be changing each time she puts a card in her discard pile. He picked up Seafall. Game looks crazy. We have Seafall too. One of our buddies actually just painted all of our ships for us, and we've actually talked about playing it, but we just haven't actually picked up picked a time to actually do that. So I picked it up right when it had actually come out. I think I actually ordered it from Plaid Hat's website. I think it was Plaid Hat. That's who put it out. Because I wanted to get the actual metal coins that came with it for free. Although, you know, a couple of months later, the game was big time discounted and on sale. I paid full price for it. You're up.
I know. I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
And I've heard Seafall has a lot of mixed reviews with it or not. I still kind of like to play it.
I think. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna.
Okay, we're gonna get this chess clock here.
I know. I've been going really quick too. I've been trying to make a point of going quick. Let's just do this. I'm gonna do this propaganda center. It's an action that lets me discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, keep one of them, and discard the other. When I do that action, do you put a meeple in or a worker? I don't know if I've seen that card.
Discard 2. No, the action is basically discarding 2 cards. So what you could do is you could almost put the... normally you put the resources on here, but what you might want to do is maybe just... when you use it, maybe kind of tap it.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe just put it at like a little bit of an angle so you know you did it, because I don't want to put the cards on there, because since we're playing Scavengers, you have to put the cards in your discard pile.
Right.
Especially since I'm going to use them, I don't want to have to look over there to remember what's on the top of your discard pile. So we'll just tap that whenever you're...
Okay.
Or just turn it a little. I don't know if we can use the word tap, because that's probably owned by Wizards of the Coast. He was saying they got through the prologue to one of his friends. He had to go back to Germany. He said he can't wait till next summer.
Oh.
It sounds like that's when they're going to play it. Yeah, we're hopefully going to get it played here maybe soon. Once we get the stream kind of a little more consistent, actually get moved to a different room of the house that is going to be dedicated to the stream instead of our kitchen, where we're at right now.
Putting everything out, taking it down.
Yeah, he said workers will be forever named meeples. That's... every time we play this, we're like, okay, it's called a worker, but we just call it meeples. I am going to play a fuel to gain a blue resource.
I'm going to use one of these workers from my camp and my other worker to gain a card.
I don't know if I should have done that. Oh, yep, I think that'll work. Okay, that's going to do it the way I want it to. Okay, you done?
I'm done.
All right, I'm going to use my ammo as a fuel. I'm going to use that as an action, which I haven't done yet this turn, and that's going to give me a blue connection token. You're up.
I pass.
All right, I'm going to use my 2 blue connection tokens to make a deal, and that deal is going to be producing a fuel for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get a fuel. which I'm probably not going to be able to do anything with. I'm going to... Oh no, I can't do that. Damn. Yep, I think that's going to be it. Because I was going to do something else with that, but I just did all that because I wanted to be able to produce the fuel. He said game room. Yeah, it's going to be more of a stream room almost than a game room, but that is definitely where we'll be gaming. All right, that is going to be the end of the action phase because I'm going to go ahead and pass as well. So let's clean up. So, I can actually save
Yeah, we both can do that now.
Yeah, I can actually save that fuel there.
And these two.
I almost forgot that we had that card.
I don't need these.
Get rid of that meeple.
These workers are going to stay.
fuel.
Those
Yep.
are the ones that stay there until I use them, and then they do not get replaced.
Other than that, first player token is going to get passed.
Thank you.
Lookout phase. Let's do the lookout phase. Oh, we got to discard this. We will do 1, 2, 3, and these will go to you for the first draft. You know, we could probably speed this up because I could probably draw my 3
Yeah.
and do my 3 right now too.
And then we'll just pass
and then
back
just
and
swap
forth.
the cards.
Yep.
That would probably speed this up just a hair.
Just remember that the remaining cards go in mine.
Yeah.
Since I got first player right now.
Oh my. We're going to take that. We're going to take that.
I guess I'll take that.
That's going to go to you. They go to you because you're first player.
And I just told you to do that.
Yes, you did. All right, we're going to flip over our connection cards. 2 blue. Gain the top card from your opponent's discard pile. And 2 red. Production phase. Let's go ahead and do production. Equals gray universal. Ammo, gun, fuel. 1 rune, so I'm going to let you take your cards first. So I got these 2 to still do.
Ammo. And a bolt. Or iron.
Did you take your cards?
I did. Go ahead.
Okay, so I get a card for my main thing. I produce a rune. So I'm going to produce 1. For each rune in my state, I get ammo. So I'm going to get 2 ammo, max 3. And for my garbage digger, I can choose an icon on the card and gain the matching good. I'll take a brick because that will definitely come in handy. All right. Other than that, it is to you.
All right. Let me spend 2 workers and take this.
I'm going to spend 2 workers and take this.
You have something up your sleeve. I'm actually going to utilize this card right now and take 2 blue contact tokens.
All right. All right, I'm going to spend both of these contact. I want to use a gray and a universal to play parking lot. It produces 1 iron for each of the iron symbols in your state. And I only have that 1, so it's only going to produce 1 iron.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to do an action. I'm going to spend 1 brick, discard a card, and I get 2 gray contact tokens.
All right. I am going to spend a fuel down here on the convoy to gain a blue contact token.
I am going to play this action card, which gives me such great satisfaction.
Oh, I gotta destroy that. Crap.
Oh, action. Wrong spot. Down here it costs me 1, and what it allows me to do is spend a worker,
And an
1 iron, and I get 3 of these gray contact tokens that
Yeah, I
Joe
love that
tried
card.
to destroy
I
my
love that
original
card.
one.
Now it's gonna cost me 5 to destroy that.
Yep.
Damn. All right. I am going to use this as a fuel. Down here is an action to gain a blue resource.
Okay. I'm now going to. Yep,
Wow.
couldn't have gotten a better draw.
You got a
This
bunch
is
of great
also going
contact
to allow
tokens
me to
going
get
on.
great contact tokens. It cost me 1 to put that down, and for putting it down and my building bonus, I'm going to take 2.
Yep. Damn, now I wish I wouldn't have taken that orange card. All right, well, we're still going to stick with what we're going to do here. Because I'm going to spend the 2 blue contact tokens to throw the hideout under here to produce a victory point every round. Because the name of the game is victory points.
All right, so let's see here. That's quite a lot. Okay, I'm going to play this production. It allows me 1 gear for each gear symbol in my state up to a max of 3, and right now I have 3 showing. Do I get a gear now,
Yes.
or do I get all 3?
So read it again. I was thinking about something, sorry.
That's okay. It allows you 1 gear for each gear symbol in your state, maximum of 3.
It produces, so it will produce however many gears you
So
have.
I do get the
So you
3.
get 3. You get 3 iron.
Awesome.
Not
Iron,
gears,
not
iron.
gear. I know. I do that all the time. At least I'm calling them workers.
That's true. Oh, and I wish I would have done that differently. I knew I should have used that card differently. Darn it. All right, we're going to play this, and I'm going to take the top card of your deck.
Certainly. All right, I'm going to do this action card for 3 contact tokens.
All right, I'm going to put a worker on your open production for the construction vehicle and take a gray contact. And then you're going to get a worker as well since I utilized one of your open productions.
Perfect.
So you're welcome for the extra worker.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks a lot. All right. So let's start off here. Let's use a worker and an iron to gain 3 gray contact.
My turn.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to use an iron to gain a gray contact. You're up.
I'm going to use a worker and 2 iron, and that is going to give me 3 victory points. 1, 2. Oh, hi there, honey.
Hello. My turn? Mm-hmm. I'm going to spend 2 gray contacts to put out another feature. Oh, I had this card in the wrong spot. That's a feature, not an action. So I have 2 leisure spots. Each time you develop a rune, you gain a victory point.
My turn?
Yep.
All right, I am going to spend 1 worker and 1 iron to give myself 2 victory points.
Oh, no. Oh, I made a mistake.
Oh no.
Oh, no. All right, I'm going to use this as a brick to go here, which matches the top of your card to get a victory point.
Okay. I am going to use this action here, my propaganda center. Discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards, and keep 1. So I'm going to discard these 2 cards. I sure you don't. Probably need both of those. Draw 2 cards, and I'll get to keep 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my nose itches. Yeah.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Oh, I thought you had to discard one.
Oh, crap, I do.
That's what I was sitting here waiting for.
Ah, shoot.
I was waiting for you to discard.
Darn
I was like,
it all.
You don't get to keep both of them, even if you like both of them. That was funny. I'm going to do a development action. So I'm going to spend a brick to actually get rid of one of my, and I'm going to look at both of these. In case if I draw the card that lets me rebuild one, I want to make sure I rebuild. I don't discard one that I want to keep. We're going to keep that one here. We're going to discard him, and I am going to play the gun shop that I took off of your pile. And since I actually developed a rune, I get a point for the development, and then I get 2 more points for my leisure spots.
Okay.
And it is back to you.
All right. I am going to play this deal. It costs 2 blue contacts. And I will get a victory point now and during every production.
All right, I'm going to spend a gun as an action to get 2 red contact tokens.
Do I use those 2 workers or do I save them? I'm going to stop because I think you have something up your sleeve.
You're gonna.
I don't have any cards. So I would have to use
Oh,
my
you'd have
2.
to- yeah, you'd have to use the
and
2
I want
workers
to
to
kind of
get a
keep
card.
those. Yes.
Okay.
And you are not getting those red contact tokens for nothing. So
All right. Well, I'm going to use my 2 red contact tokens to actually raise a card from my hand. I'm going to go ahead and get the trash collectors. The spoils for that is the top 3 cards of your deck.
Oh.
Okay. It's going to come back to me. I'm going to pass, and there's nothing I can do. I wonder if I can turn the ammo. Ammo is universally valuable and may be used in place of any of the 4 basic resources when paying for actions. You may spend ammo instead of a resource, but not the other way around. I'm guessing I would lose this because I don't know if I get to turn it actually into a
No,
resource.
because it's only when spending
Because it's only
it
when you're
says.
spending it.
I would say no.
Yeah. So during the cleanup phase, which is where we're at right now, because I'm going to pass as well, everything is going to clear. Oh, that fuel I actually never spent from there. And I actually could have used that for something. That's going to stay there. This ammo is going to go away. This punk is going to get discarded. Close game so far. Mm-hmm. Much closer than earlier, where you pretty much were double my score. You'll pass me the first player once you're done. And we will start off with me drawing 3. Go ahead and you draw 3, and then we'll just swap.
Sounds good.
Speed it up a little bit.
Oh, my nose itching.
Take that one, and then I'll get the cards when you're done. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We were kind of quiet during that one.
Yes, we
Sorry.
were.
That was a little bit of concentrating going on there, trying to see what we're going to do. Production phase. Actually, end of the lookout phase. Let's flip these over. 2 blue. 1 card off the top of your opponent's deck. And what is going to be the red? 2 red. So production. 3. Universal gray. Ammo. Gun. Fuel. Victory point. I'm going to get a card to my hand. I'm going to produce a rune. I'm going to get 2 ammo. One iron for the parking lot. And I can choose an icon on my opponent's card. I'm going to take the actual meeple since you have a meeple there, or a worker. I've taken all my cards. So if you need to draw, go ahead and draw.
I do. These come back over. Good Lord. Now I got too many gears. For iron.
Yeah, you got a lot of iron going on over there.
2 cards. And I do not know why my nose is itching so bad. I apologize.
Allergies. Mm-hmm. It's starting to be that time of the year. Because mine's itching too. Either that or you're just making mine itch. All right, are we ready to start this?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do 2 workers for punks.
All right. 2 workers for the merchants.
I'm going to go iron for a gray contact token. Now we're going to start speeding up.
I'm going to play my merchant's card and get my 2 blue contacts.
I'm going to spend 2 gray contacts to play oil rig. It produces 1 fuel for each fuel symbol. 1, 2, 3. It does a max of 3. So I will take 3 fuel.
I am going to turn my ammo into a fuel. And with my fuel, I'm going to get 2 blue tokens on my action.
I'm going to do a gun action. Turn in 1 gun to get 2 red contacts.
Oh boy. Let's see, what do I want to do?
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice. I know what I'm doing. Stop. All right, I'm going to do this deal, which allows me to get a victory point during every production, and I get 1 now, and that costs 2 blue contact tokens.
All right, I'm going to play my punks, take 2 red contact tokens.
I'm going to play a meeple and 2 gears, which is going to give me 3 victory points.
What are your action cards down there?
1 meeple, 1 gear, 2 victory points, 2 cards, discard 2, draw 2, keep 1, discard the other.
Okay.
1 meeple, 1 gear gives you 3 gray contacts, and 1 meeple, 2 gears give you 3 victory points. Here it comes. Wait for it.
All right, I am going to raise one of your action cards. Here's 5, 4 reds, and a universal. Let's get rid of the one that does victory points.
Which one?
The 3. The
This
one
one?
you've already used.
Now, do I get these back?
No, that was only when you used. That was only when you utilized
Mike
those
or Tommy,
new explosive guys, the demolition experts
So
that are
these
in
go back
Scavengers.
here?
Those actually get tossed out.
Okay. You get the spoils,
I get the spoils, which is
3 gears and 1 victory
3
point.
iron and a victory point.
And I get a gear.
Iron.
Iron.
You were saying iron all day. Where did the gears
I
come
have no
from all of
idea.
a sudden?
I have no idea. Don't have a clue.
You're up.
All right. Well, let me use a worker and a gear to get 2 more victory points.
I probably should have done that one since you had already taken the other one, but
Probably, but
well, I
what are you
wanted
gonna
you
do?
to stop you from doing the
So I
3.
get 2 more.
All right, I'm going to use an ammo as a brick, and I'm going to do a development action. What I'm going to do is I am going to develop one of the runes, and I will play the gasoline drinker's den. I can spend 2 fuel to get two victory points. I can activate that twice. Now, since I developed a rune, I get 1 victory point for that, and then 2 for the leisure spots. And you can, I'm going to look up it. You can have the same card in your thing multiple times. There isn't a limit to that, I believe, correct?
I don't believe so. You mean the same exact card?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can have
I've
the
done it.
same exact card in your tableau
I don't know if
multiple
it's
times.
correct or not, but I've done it.
Go ahead, take your turn. I'm just going to glance at this real quick.
Okay. What was I doing?
I'm 99% sure you can.
All right, I'm going to do another deal. Victory points. And it costs 2 blue contact tokens.
If it is in the rules, I have no idea where it is. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to play like we always have. You can do that. I'm pretty sure you can. My turn, right?
Yes.
I'm going to spend 2 fuel down here to get 2 victory points. We are...
Neck and neck.
This is the closest game I think we've ever had of this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use one of my bricks to get rid of one of my ruins, right?
What you can do is you can do a develop action. So you spend
Yeah.
a brick to discard a rune. You don't have to match the icons like we were saying.
Right.
So you basically discard that, and then you can put a card down from your hand.
I'm
And it
going
can be
to
any card since there it doesn't have to match
play
now.
this action, which every time I spend 2 gears, I get 2 victory points.
Damn. I don't have enough red to destroy all your shit.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Man. I'm going to spend a worker and 2 fuel to get 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. Wow. This next turn could be it.
Oh my gosh, I wasn't even paying attention to how close we are.
Yeah,
now.
this is close to the end of the game.
This is a quick game for us.
I
long
think we
is it
got our
been?
engines built fairly quick.
Hour?
Not even an hour. Yeah, usually this does take us a little longer.
Okay, my turn?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play this production for 1 gray contact. And it's going to give me a worker during production, and I also get a building bonus worker.
And you're going to kill me right now. Because I'm going to use these 2 ammo as guns. And a worker and 2 guns is 3 victory points. 1, 2, 3. This is the last round.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just pretty much pulled end of game by doing that. And that was the card that I took off the top of your
Oh
deck
my
too, that one card.
goodness.
I didn't realize I was going to be able to do that this turn, but yes. I think having these leisure spots helped me out when I was able to develop a rune. Hopefully I was doing that correct. I'm pretty sure we are.
All right, I'm going to spend 2 gears to get 2 victory points.
You're not that far behind me.
You got a lot more cards than I did.
I do have more cards than you. You got to be kidding me. I may have to pass here. This card I can choose. Oh, sweet. Iron. I can put an iron here, spend the matching good to get a victory point. I think next turn I'm going to have to pass.
Shame.
Because I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything else with what I have in my hand. I could do some deals, but it's not going to be anything that's going to give me any points. There's no more production phases.
All right, well, I'm going to do this action down at the bottom where it allows you to spend 2 workers to receive 1 resource or card. I'm actually going to do it to receive a resource. I'm going to take a gear.
An iron?
Iron. Oh, my God.
So it's going to be back to me. I'm going to go ahead and pass.
Okay.
So just go ahead and finish out your turn then.
Excuse me.
Hands up.
Still have
Hands
a
up.
cold. Getting over my cold. All right, so this card allows me, it can be activated twice.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to spend
2
2
more?
iron and get 2 more.
2 more? Okay.
Oh.
This is a super close game. This is probably the closest game we've had. Usually it seems one of us usually gets an engine going and one of us pulls ahead by a couple of points. But with us being within literally 2 points of each other, 3 points, this is actually a fairly tight game.
Well, I can spend these last 2 meeples. It's just how I want to do that. I guess I'll spend them to get a card
Yeah.
in hopes that I get something I can utilize.
You got a brick. Develop a rune. That's another victory point.
Okay. Okay.
Unless if it's a 1, that'll get you some points somehow.
No. All right, so I'm going to use my brick.
Mm-hmm.
And we will just, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just discard that. Put that down. You get a victory point for development, so you're right at 25.
This goes here, and that
So
goes
you would've-
there.
You would have, if I didn't kick off end of the game, you would have.
And I think, I'm pretty sure that's all I can do. I can't do anything else.
All right.
Stinks.
I think that's the end of the game. So once the game's over, like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, if you actually hit 25 or go over during production, you play through the action phase. We hit it during the action phase, so there's really no reason to do cleanup. Game end is essentially counting up the locations you have in your state. You don't count the deals, you just count the locations. You don't count any of your raised or the cards that are considered runes that are pretty much face down. And then you would add those to your points. Highest point wins. So let's count up.
Oh, I don't count the road.
What do you got?
12.
You're going to go 10, 11, 12.
Wow. That's, I think, the
1,
closest
2,
game.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I had one more than you only.
Yeah,
I thought I had,
it looked
I
like
thought
a
I
lot
had
more.
more than you, yeah. No, it was basically,
Yep.
yeah, I'm like 3 points ahead of you.
Wow, that's the closest game.
That was a close one.
Nice.
All right, so that is 51st State from Portal Games. It is based on Imperial Settlers, which is one of the other games that Portal Games has put out from Ignacy Trzewiczek. And I have not played Imperial Settlers. I don't know. It does look a little more cartoony. This one has a little post-apocalyptic feel to it, or definitely a post-apocalyptic feel to it. I really like the way this one feels. I like the way this one plays. I like how you can attack each other and kind of like slow each other's engines down by raising their cards and destroying them and turning them into runes. Scavengers is kind of interesting, mainly because each player has their own discard pile. You have the orange/yellow connection cards, and being able to utilize some of the stuff from the top of your opponent's discard pile is kind of interesting, especially if you can get one of the cards out that lets you rebuild your runes. There's some really nice combos you can kind of start chaining together to get a really cool kind of little engine kind of going. I think both of us had a pretty decent one started up. You were kind of going with a lot of the iron. I was taking off with a little bit of fuel throwing in some guns there, I really wasn't able to do much else, but it seemed like that was a much faster game than some of the other games we've played.
This propaganda center, it has promo set 1. Where did you get that from?
I think I got that from when I ordered some of the cards, some of the additional stuff from Portal. Because I think the other thing I have in the box that we haven't played, or that I don't think I've actually introduced Kim to, is the cities. There are cities you can have out that give you like an additional component to the game. We've actually never played with those.
Played it. I didn't even know that came with it.
It was one of the things I bought that's additional. I didn't want to throw too much into the video, especially since we were doing... I kind of wanted to do straight Scavengers, because I know a lot of people won't have the city cards, so we'll have to try those ones.
Well, there's also 2 expansions that come with the actual base sets.
Yeah, so you have Winter and New Era. And I think we've played... Did we play with both or just one?
I think we played with both.
I think we played with both, and they do add different...
Pretty sure that's what adds the
police
shields.
Tokens. Yeah, I don't know if the police tokens actually, if there's any in Scavengers.
I haven't seen.
I don't know if we've seen any yet or not, but those can sometimes come into play. You know, it could have maybe helped her protect one of her action
I just
locations.
got lucky, though, and redrew the same things you had taken. So.
Yeah. So you were still able to just produce victory points.
Thank God.
Even though I was destroying stuff. And you destroyed, you know, one of my things too, which you normally don't attack me too often.
Not in this.
No.
I'm too busy focusing on my own thing.
Yeah. and that's something that you kind of have to think about with this game. You know, do you want to concentrate on your own area? How much you want to really, you know, try to screw with your neighbors? And I think a lot of that really comes into play more in a multiplayer game when you're playing with 3 or 4. And I think we want to take this down to our friendly local game store and actually try Scavengers with 4 people, just to try to see actually how that plays. Because we've only played Scavengers with 2. I've played the base set multiple times with 4 people, and it's sometimes you get attacking, sometimes you don't. But this is a game we really like. It's a really interesting engine builder. I like the theme. The art on the cards is actually really cool. It's a really diverse set of art. There's a lot of different pictures and everything on there that kind of just really gives it that whole post-apocalyptic feeling. But other than that, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I think, how many played this game? 2 to 4. Actually, I take that back. 1 to 4. I think I've actually played this solo as well, and it doesn't play that bad solo. It plays actually pretty decent solo. So you can go 1 to 4 players. And I don't think any of the expansions let you add in a 5th player. I mean, because you figure we have 6 of the player tiles now with having the 2 additional ones that I purchased, but I don't know if the game actually really ever says you can play with more than 4. I don't know if I would go more than 4. I don't know really how that would work. I mean, as you can see, we have we have a lot of cards left. I believe there's 80 some cards in the base one, and then there was like 40 in the expansion. So normally you're playing with around 120 cards or so, and I'd say we probably went through about maybe half of them. This seemed to be a much faster game.
This was way fast compared to the one we did earlier.
I think we just started rolling on scoring real early, which really ended it faster. I mean, because last game you were over 50.
Yeah.
When it ended. I mean, that last round, you kind of went crazy, and you had a much larger state. You had way more cards than just the 12 you have now. I mean, I
had 22.
Yeah, I mean, for where we ended the game this time, I think this is a very small state, but I think both of us were producing and doing a lot of victory points. You were doing a lot more development actions with the bricks too than you have been lately, and each of those gives you. Each time you develop, you get a victory point as well. So every little victory point you can get adds up, especially since you're only playing to 25. And once you can start churning out a couple of cards that gives you 3 points a turn, and you have 2 or 3 of those, that's 6 to 9 points in a turn. That's almost half the victory points you need right there to win the game. So
there is another good card in here. I think I ran across it once and I didn't play it. It lets you turn your deals into victory points.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one to have at the end, especially if it has that it can be activated twice.
I think I had that card.
I had it, and I think I discarded it. I didn't have enough to purchase it.
Either I had it, or maybe I gave it to you in one of the drafts. So other than that, we're normally doing our streams Tuesdays and Saturdays. I think we're going to switch to Saturday and Wednesday now. So the next stream we're going to do is Wednesday. I don't know if we're going to stream Thursday night, which is the first night of Origins, because Kim's starting a new job.
Origins?
Gen Con, I mean.
Gen Con,
Gen Con's
yeah.
this coming week. I'm getting my conventions confused. So I don't know if we're going to stream Gen, because we're going to be part of Gen Can't, because we're not able to go, because we went to Origins this year. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to probably do a Friday night stream of a game, maybe do a Saturday night stream of a game, and then maybe stream maybe a majority of next Sunday. Because
that's this coming weekend only.
Yeah, I don't have to work, so we're gonna try to stream, have a few extra episodes or stream a few extra games in here. So, and like I said, we play all different things. We have worker placement, late games, heavy games. One of the games I played at Origins was Lignum. We'd like to get that to the table soon. We need to learn that one. I've only played that one once. Kim has not played it at all, so we need to get a couple plays under our belt before we actually try to stream that one, because that's a much heavier game. I wouldn't mind also doing maybe a 2-player game of Food Chain Magnate, once I can get her picked up on that and get her taught that. I played that multiple times. So we played later games and heavier games and pretty much all of the games in between. So I think other than that, I think that's going to be it for tonight's stream, because it's
and as
just
far as our
about
normal
10
streams,
o'clock.
we're going to be, because we kind of got off topic with that when you started talking about Gen Can't.
Yeah.
The normal streams, we are going to be switching it up from Tuesdays
Yeah.
to Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and still do our Saturdays.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Saturdays and move Tuesday to Wednesday, just because I think I'm going to be going down to my local game store maybe on a different night. I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. I don't know how that's going to go, but we will put that on our Twitch page, and we will always tweet out. So follow us on Twitter at What I'm Playing Now. Don't forget to drop the G. We're on Instagram as well. The website's whatimplayingnow.com. I'll be throwing up a podcast tomorrow talking about a few of the things I played this week. What did I play this past week? Let me grab my phone here and actually see some of the pictures of some of the games that I played. We played Looney Quest the other day. I played Heart of Crown, which is a deck builder, which one of my buddies is a big anime fan, so sometimes he brings some very interesting games into the store. And then we played Reiner Knizia game, Modern Art, which is an auction-style game, which we did a 4-player game and then a 5-player game of that one. That was a very, very good game. Modern Art. I like auction games. Kim likes auction games too. The thing is, you can't really do auction games with 2 people, though. It's kind of lame. So that's where we're kind of limited here with, one, our playroom right now, and the space we have is pretty much only room for the 2 of us. And we would definitely have to move some things around to try to get a 3rd or 4th person around here to do some games like that. So other than that, everybody, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions or anything, or if we made any mistakes, when I get this uploaded to the YouTube page, please post them in the comments. It's youtube.com/whatimplayingnow. Or you can email me whatimplayingnow@gmail.com. Other than that, thanks you guys for watching. We appreciate the chat and the dialogue we have going on here, but we're going to clean up the game and call it a night. So everybody have a good weekend, and we will be back on Wednesday with another one. Do we have any idea what we're going to play on Wednesday?
No, because we have to figure out what we're doing for Gen Can't, so we
that's
have
true.
no idea yet.
So we're not really too sure what we're going to be doing on Wednesday. I think we originally talked about maybe playing a couple of Renegade games, maybe like Lotus and Fox in the
We might
Forest.
still do that. Something
So we may
quick
just
and light.
do those 2 lighter games maybe on Wednesday, and then just get ready for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Yeah.
and see what we can do. So other than that, thanks guys for watching, and we will catch you later. We'll be back on Wednesday. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.